Congratulations to both of you for your movie debut.
I'm Jazmin Jones. I am
Hmm.
the director and one of the investigators in the
Okay.
film.
And I'm Olivia Mckayla Ross. I'm associate producer and co-investigator.
Give us a little bit detail on Seeking Mavis Beacon. How did you come about wanting to put together this documentary per se?
Yeah, for folks who aren't familiar with Mavis Beacon and her teachings, essentially in the late 80s, there was this software that came out and
Hmm.
it had this beautiful Black woman on the cover, and she would guide you through how to learn to type. And this was really important because at the time, a lot of people didn't know how to type or didn't have computers. It was the first time they were getting computers in their home.
Hmm.
And so we use the term, or Olivia uses the term cyber doula to talk about Mavis Beacon as this like avatar or this character who helped people kind of bring themselves into the digital realm. And so that was really important for me because I was an 8-year-old. I was using Mavis Beacon unrestricted at home. My parents were like, I don't know, kid, figure out a computer, here you go. And
Hmm.
then we also had Mavis Beacon teachers typing at school. And so it was a beautiful and rare experience that I got to show up as a young Black girl and feel like I was really good and really smart. And the words per minute, they spoke for themselves.
Okay.
So maybe I guess it was 20 years later after I was first introduced to Mavis Beacon, I started to ask myself, oh, what happened to her?
Hmm.
And why was this Black woman selected as the cover model? And then we went into an internet rabbit hole and found out that there's a whole Mandela effect where people think that Mavis Beacon's a real person. And there's a whole history. But the real woman, Renee Lesperance, who modeled for the software, was only paid $500.
Right.
Um, and the company went on to sell 10 million copies worldwide. So
Wow. Wow.
Olivia and I, we kind of team up and we're these DIY detectives and we're trying to figure out, get to the bottom of this like representational mystery.
So, Olivia, what is your part in taking to developing this particular piece?
When I first encountered Mavis Beacon, because I didn't learn how to type with Mavis Beacon, I just like absorbed it, I guess. We had a library class at school when I was in
Hmm.
elementary school where we had to like we learned a lot of like media literacy stuff and like how to use Wikipedia and how to use Google and how to type. But there was no anthropomorphized anyone inside of it. It was just like take the typing test and your
Right.
number needs to be higher than this one on the board. Uh,
Okay.
but when a couple months after I had met Jasmine, they presented their research on Mavis Beacon to a class I was taking with American artist at the School for Poetic Computation that was all about like critical histories of technology and like yeah, just looking at the development of technology through history with this like critical eye.
Hmm.
And I was just really fascinated by the project at that point, and it led me on this internet rabbit hole. And I played a bunch of Mavis Beacon using like the Internet Archive's like emulator.
Hmm.
Um, but that was like a retroactive backwards look at like, wow, like I did not know that there was this, unspoken Black history of typing. And it was a moment that like felt very exciting and felt almost prophetic in terms of like yeah, this legacy of like Siri, Alexa, Cortana, and these like AI fembots who, support people in like self-actualization, that kind of relationship always felt very curiously Black to me.
Okay.
Just in terms of just like the expectation of servitude and like even the way people talk to their Siris. We were just
Mhm.
talking about how like people can be quite mean to Siri in a way that like often like we're used to, frankly, speaking to women, but even
Right.
more so to Black women.
Did at any time did you guys got kind of fed up and wanted to walk away from the project?
Like fed up, yes. Walk away, no.
There's many times I felt like in the process that we had to slow down in ways that were not our will, actually.
Hmm.
I felt more that I wanted to get back to it,
Hmm.
where it was like, oh, I have all these leads and we can't search them because I'm sick, or we can't search them because we don't have any money, or it's like it was a very like I felt that more than I felt like, oh, I want to give up. It's like, oh, like, the faster we get back on the road, we could have a different kind of
Hmm.
answer, you know?